Many thanks for staying with us. Now, just a quick reminder that this week, one of the most high-profile corruption trials involving a former African cabinet minister gets underway in Lagos. And we have a News Central's international correspondent and anchor, Afua Hagan, who is on standby and has been covering this development. Afua Hagan, what is the update from the court?
I'm outside the court in London, not Lagos, for the trial of Alison-Madueke. The trial was due to start at 10 a.m. this morning, but there have been some delays in court due to some issues with Wi-Fi. But initially what we heard was from the 8 cases on the side of the prosecution, that's members of the King's Council, making sure that everybody on their side has the bundles with all the information about the jury, as well as all the information about the separate defendants within this trial, as well as Diezani Alison-Madueke, and making sure that they have everything in place for the trial to get started. Like we said, because of those issues with the Wi-Fi, court is risen at the moment, but it does seem like a heavy side on the prosecution. Like I said, 8 cases we counted in total. Of course, Alison-Madueke was present in court before she actually left when the judge rose the court because of those details. But there with her team, the defendants as well. We can expect some other defendants to be joining her throughout the course of this trial, which is set to take place here in Southwark Crown Court behind me for the next 10 to 12 weeks.
Is there a particular reason why this is not happening in Lagos? And what are the possible sentences if she's found guilty?
The trial is taking place in London at Southwark Crown Court because Alison-Madueke lived in Britain for several years. Authorities say that parts of the alleged bribery and corruption that took place actually passed through the UK. That's through British intermediaries, financial systems, banks, and assets. So that actually gives the British prosecutors legal jurisdiction over this case. So that's why it's taking place in the United Kingdom. You asked me about possible sentences that Diezani Alison-Madueke could face. Well, it could be quite a hefty prison sentence. She could face up to a decade in prison or more. That's depending on how the charges are proven and how serious they are deemed to be by the prosecution.
Before we let you go, Afua, how long is the trial expected to last, and what are the key moments to watch?
Yes, we are in for the long haul. This is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. This trial is set to last for the next 10 to 12 weeks. So taking us into the spring, key moments to watch. The prosecution's witness testimony, especially any insiders, any intermediaries. We heard about 2 possible other defendants who could be on trial. We heard about them earlier this morning in court with the cases we're talking about them. So those, their testimony could be key moments in this trial. Any financial evidence and paper trail, the receipts as it were, when those are exposed in court, that will certainly be a big moment. Her defense case, what her defense are going to set out, the reasons why perhaps she received money, high-class travel, hotel stays, what were the reasons behind that, and ultimately the jury's verdict, which of course is going to come at the end of this 10 to 12-week trial, what they ultimately decide the fate should be for Diezani Alison-Madueke.
All right, News Central's senior international correspondent and anchor on ground covering this development. Thank you, Afua Hagan.